I learned a lot of new things about innovation when I watched the new economic thinking interview of Andrew Wyckoff. One being just how important it is to raise awareness about the difference between innovation and inventions, especially due to the fact that even policymakers mistake both. In addition to this, thanks to Professor O'Reilly, I also learned that there are two different types of innovations: incremental and disruptive. Incremental is described as making minor improvements on an existing product, and disruptive means turning past inventions obsolete. What is interesting about the video is that he talks about why companies are failing against disruptive innovations, and he gives three tips as to how they can counter it. His three tips can basically be narrowed down to having a team of innovators and developers who are constantly working in order to maintain their success, and they do so with the right resources. According to Wyckoff, innovations can be defined as commercializing inventions, bringing them close to the marketplace. He describes innovation as something that takes time, a small development over many years. One thing that I learned from his interview is how we have innovations such as the internet, which then can lead to new and different innovations. In my case, I can think of examples such as online gaming, streaming, Google, email. These are all inventions that were able to exist and thrive because of the internet. Invention is defined as what I believe most of us expected, meaning the creation of a product or process, while innovation is making a significant contribution to an existing product, service, or progress. I think both videos truly highlight the importance of innovation. All, I believe creativity is a vital trait in problem solving. So before watching any video, I know that there's a connection because entrepreneurs thrive on finding solutions for problems. However, after watching the video on human-centered design and reading the modules, I saw the connection not only between those, but also with what I saw in the first video of Andrew Wyckoff. He talked about this commercialization of the product, something that has been lately identified as an important characteristic of innovation. I think the connection between creativity and entrepreneurship and innovations begins at putting yourself in different perspectives in order to find possible solutions and then move on to how you're able to apply that solution as well as marketing it. Innovation is very important to the world in general because it leads to better living conditions. As Professor O'Reilly explained, companies that fail usually do so because someone came up with something better. Innovation can only be seen as a threat to other companies and organizations if they aren't willing to work on it, because the facts are that the majority of companies need to innovate in order to continue being successful. Some examples of how important innovation is can be seen in how the competition it provides is what leads to developed markets, meaning better products and services for the people and for society in general. From the organization's point of view, being innovative can make them more productive or efficient by saving them time, money, or other progress. Thinking of the Industrial Revolution, when several car manufacturers in America and in Japan began using the assembly line, a process where parts are added as a semi-finished car moves from station to station. Two approaches to innovation that I found on the Harvard Business Review article are those explained by Cornyn. He mentions the customer-centered approach, where businesses rely on their customers' thoughts in order to innovate. However, in order for this to work, the customers must have a deep understanding of their system, which is why Steve Jobs wasn't a fan of this approach. He thought customers usually don't know what they want. The other approach I found in this article is a supply push approach, where companies or organizations dedicate their time and resources to develop technology in order to then find or create a market. This approach relies heavily on the innovation of not only creating a product or service, but also finding new different purposes for it after.